sued for plagiarizing yourself? That's what happened to John Fogerty, co-founder of Creedence Clearwater Revival. Here's what happened. The members of Creedence had been playing together under the name The Blue Velvets when they signed a contract with Fantasy Records in 1964. The owner of Fantasy changed their name to the Gollywogs, which the band hated. In 1967, Saul Zaentz bought Fantasy and allowed the band to choose their own name, Creedence Clearwater Revival, which they officially took on in January 1968. From 1968 through 1970, CCR cranked out hit after hit, as John became the de facto leader of the band as their principal songwriter, lead singer, and producer, honing his signature swamp rock sound. In 1969, they were the first band that the organizers of Woodstock asked to sign on to headline the festival. By 1972, the band released an astonishing 7 studio albums in under 4 years, the first 6 going certified platinum and the 7th going certified gold. They yielded 14 consecutive top 10 singles. But by 1972, acrimony among the group and with Fantasy was just too strong, and Creedence disbanded. The members went their separate ways, but there was just one problem. Saul Zaentz would not release John from his contract, which required him to cut 9 more albums for Fantasy. John went into a deep malaise, and after releasing just 1 album, simply refused to record anymore for Fantasy. In 1974, David Geffen's Asylum Records bought out John's contract for $1 million, releasing him from Fantasy. After taking a break from music for almost a decade, in 1985, John released the double platinum album Centerfield. He played all the instruments himself on the record, which yielded several hits, including the title track, Rock and Roll Girls,
Hey, let's go all over the world. Rock and roll girl.
and The Old Man Down the Road. The album was a certified smash hit for John and for the Warner Brothers label. But then Saul Zaentz sued John on 2 counts. First, he claimed defamation based on the song Zans Can't Dance. It was quite clear that the song was meant as a condemnation of Zantz's treatment of John, so Warner's quickly renamed the song Vans Can't Dance with a V, and John re-recorded the vocals with every instance of Zans replaced with Vans. All pressings of the album after 1985 had the new version of the song on them. The other suit is the mind-boggling one. Back in the 1970s, Fantasy acquired copyright ownership of all CCR's music, the vast majority of which was written solely by John. In this lawsuit, Zaentz sued John for plagiarizing one of his own songs, which Zaentz owned. The suit claimed that John lifted the music from Run Through the Jungle, slapped on new lyrics, and released it as a new song, The Old Man Down the Road. The case went to a jury trial in which John actually took the stand with an acoustic guitar and played both songs for the jury.
They got a computer geek, and what he did was he programmed the melody of Run Through the Jungle into the computer. Boop, 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 boop. It really sounded like that, folks. After that, they played, now here's Old Man Down the Road. Boop, 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 right? And so the people are like, you know, even I'm kind of, right. But the remarkable thing to me is, and I don't think they'd ever done it ahead of time, because what their witness explained to the jury was, now, the fact that where the notes are the same, you're only going to hear one note, because it's the same note in both songs. Yeah, right. He said, what we're going to do is we're going to play both songs at the same time, right, from the computer, boop, boop, right? He said, so where you're only hearing one note, that's where the 2 songs are similar. He said, anytime you hear more than one note, that's where the 2 songs differ. Right. And so it went boop, 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 and then suddenly there were 2, everywhere, notes, like that, and everybody, I mean, you could see the air go out of the whole room because there was 2 notes. All the rest of it, and I'm looking at, all their high-priced people. I said, didn't you ever do that before? Yeah. Well, when it came to my side presenting the case, I did exactly what I just did for you folks. I played a little bit of each song and sang the song. And, I mean, I don't know if anybody really thought this out. Yeah. But think about it. If you're in a courtroom and you're going to get to hear, boop, boo, 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 boo. Or you're going to get to hear some guy go, you got the hottie hat.
It was a remarkable case in which an artist had to prove that he had his own personal style and didn't plagiarize his own earlier work. Of course, his songs would sound similar since he developed a unique and celebrated voice all his own. John won the case and then countersued Zantz for over $1 million in attorney's fees, which he also won after it went all the way to the Supreme Court, and which created precedent for future cases involving reclamation of attorney's fees. In 2004, Concord Records, majority owned by Norman Lear, yes, that Norman Lear, purchased Fantasy Records, and in 2023, Concord completely reverted all the rights of John's songs back to him. So now he is finally in total control of the music he authored over 50 years ago. If you're interested in more stories like this about some of rock's biggest artists, click on the card above here to watch the interview I did with legendary record label president David Berman. Thanks for watching Strange Device.